Welcome to In Depth. We start tonight with a number. A 2011-2012 study showed the U.S. Department of Justice stats indicated an estimated 181,500 veterans, 8% of all inmates in state and federal prisons and local jails, were serving time behind bars. We are talking tonight about the Vanderburgh County court system and the Veterans Administration combining resources to help troubled vets stay out of prison. Joining me tonight is Vanderburgh Circuit Court Judge David Kiley and the mentor coordinator for the Veterans Court, Gene Threet. Judge Kiley, this was certainly a passion that you had to create this court, the first in Indiana. What made you do it?
I think the reason it was done is because it needed to be done. There wasn't a Veterans Court in Indiana back in 2011. I was part of a treatment court with Judge Trockman, and I happened to be in a seminar up in Indianapolis where Judge Russell in Buffalo, New York, who started the first Veterans Court, spoke. And I was there, and it kind of inspired me to start it because it needed to be done.
And Gene, you're the mentor coordinator, and you're doing mentoring too. You are a Air Force vet?
That's correct.
And
yes.
you flew over Southeast Asia,
yes.
So you know the people that you're working with. But what exactly does a mentor do in helping those vets who have been charged?
A mentor is there to be a friend and someone to talk to that has a background in the military. That's a requirement to be a mentor as a veteran with honorable discharge. And I try to match up personalities and backgrounds, particularly as it relates to combat difficulties with the veterans. We're not their banker, we're not their transportation, we're there to be their friend. We call it a battle buddy.
And Judge Kiley, this is not an easy program. This is not like, well, driving school can be difficult, but this is not like just a diversion program where there isn't that much input. Tell me about that.
This is an 18-month to 3-year intensive program where we start with day reporting. It kind of depends on what issues our participants have. If they're dealing with substance abuse issues, obviously we want to put them in that path where they're getting treatment for their substance abuse issues. Mental health issues we want to address, and that's, I think, the great thing about the court is we've gathered every resource in the community. Mm-hmm. And we've put it out there in front of the veterans, and we steer them into those resources.
Many of these veterans have been on the battlefield, whether it be in Iraq or Afghanistan or even prior to that. When they walk into your courtroom for the first time, how does that touch you? I mean, you're a sitting judge, and you may have to make a lot of tough rulings and tough decisions, but what goes through your mind when they come in?
Well, it's anyone that comes in front of me in the criminal justice system, it's sad. They're in an extremely difficult situation. Problems in their life has basically caused them to be introduced in our criminal justice system, and we have to address it. It's a problem we have in the community, and especially with the veterans, because a lot of veterans I see, the problems that they brought from combat, from the military, are part of the reason they're in our criminal justice system.
And Gene, it's a challenge to get mentors to sign up, but you want military veterans because they've been there to work with individuals who might be having a tremendous traumatic event in their life that is close to sending them to jail or even prison. How do you qualify to be a mentor, and what do you ask them?
Well, obviously, as I said, a veteran, and I look at there as a form called ED 215. That carries everything for a veteran, and I can look through that and see what kind of background they had. And we actually vet them to the court and the police system also. And they have to actually apply. They fill out an application that I review and interview them, and then make a decision based on the police report.
Do they plead for help to you?
Pardon me?
Do they plead for help to you?
Yes,
they want to, or is this something that you have to drive the boat on, so to speak?
I'm the backup. I always keep in touch with the mentees, regardless of whether they're assigned to me or not. So I'm always the backup. There's somebody to call. If somebody wants to talk to a veteran friend at 12 o'clock at night, then they call their mentor or they call me.
And Judge, what advice, I mean, what do you tell the veterans when they get in there, into your courtroom?
Basically, we let them know that this is going to be a difficult road. This is not an easy program. But what we want to do is do everything we can to help them be successful, not only through our program, but for the rest of their life.
It's been would you call this a successful program? How many veterans have you helped through this process?
It's been personally, it's been one of the most satisfying things I've done in my 20 years on the bench, because we get to see success. We started a program in 2011. We're up to almost 75 veterans that have been through the program. Those that have graduated, our success rate is tremendous. We haven't had any
repeat offenders.
Reoffend. So the program works. But something that I need to point out, and Gene understands, is it's not an easy program. These veterans, they go through 18 months of intense programming.
And Gene, I'm going to put up on the screen now, if we can put up a graphic, if you want to be a mentor, if you're a military veteran, and Gene, you tell me you prefer, if you can, someone who's been involved in combat. Tell me why.
That's not a requirement, but we have people with combat-related problems. And it's almost imperative that we have someone that understands the situation that they found themselves in, particularly if they're in ground combat, in close quarter combats, particularly in the Vietnam situation, for example, or in Southwest Asia, the IED problem. People need to be aware of those kinds of things to be a mentor, to be an effective mentor with a veteran.
Well, Judge Kiley, of course, it can be a very tough stream to wade through, but it appears as though the Veterans Court, is building a bridge to make it a little bit easier to get to the other side. We really appreciate you being here tonight, and keep us updated on the numbers of success stories you have, and we'll hopefully, maybe perhaps have one of those individuals come and join us at this table.
Thank you, and we'll do that.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah.
All righty. The Veterans Court, they need volunteers to mentor. You've got the contact information that was up on the screen. This will also be posted on our website, Eyewitness News website, tristatehomepage.com, later tonight.